Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has replied a lady who shared pictures of children voting via the local government area election in Kano State. The lady, identified Ayemojuba, shared the photos via her Twitter account and also tagged INEC to it. While replying, INEC made the lady understand that INEC was not the body that conducted the election. They stated that local government area elections are conducted by the State Independent Electoral Commissions, which is SIEC. INEC further stated that they are only responsible for area council elections for the FCT, state assemblies, governorship, national assembly, and presidential elections. Voter education. Did you know state independent electoral commissions conduct local government areas election while INEC conducts area council elections for the FCT, state assemblies, governorship, national assembly, and presidential elections? Well, this is another eye opener for a lot of people who do not know that it is the state that conducts the election. But even the election of the local government election, but even at that, I think they are just trying to exonerate themselves, because in most of all the elections, it's not only this one, it's not only local government election that this kind of a thing has been happening. It has been happening before in all of those other elections. They are claiming that that is what they conduct, that they don't conduct electoral, they don't conduct for local government. And I just think that is just the way it is. But now we now know. So the body that conducted it, that means the state. Since it's not the state, then I think these pictures and the information should be sent back to the state that conducts the local government election. Me, I'm just even hearing it that it is not INEC. They have a different bodies. Good and fine. Irrespective of who is in charge, all of them are government agencies that need to look into this. But from what we have known, this is not the first time. Okay, and she said, I know. She replied again to INEC. She said, I know this election was not conducted by you, but I'm trying to pass a message. After INEC replied, Ayemojuba said she's aware that the election was not conducted by INEC. She went further and stated that her reason for the tweet is to pass a message. Ayemojuba revealed that a similar set of underage citizens has participated in previous elections either by SIEC, which is SIEC, or INEC, of course. She also shared pictures of underage children who were holding voters' cards, holding voters' cards to prove a point. However, INEC is yet to respond to her again. You can imagine. Nigeria, who reacted to INEC reply, asked them if the voters' card were issued to the children by state as well. They urged INEC to answer the second tweet since they have provided answers to the initial one. Some persons stated that INEC should have condemned this and ensure that election laws are enforced instead of denying and pushing blames. Okay, what an irresponsible response and excuse from INEC. This is not new. Moreover, those in Kano State or this Kano State CIA have a separate okay, do they have a separate database for voter register from what you have, to come here and claim no knowledge of what is happening? Can you imagine what you just reply? Shame of you, INEC. Then use a needle choke on her head. Okay, all these ones are beginning to get at each other's throne. But the issue is that whether they responded to whether they are the ones or not, but the previous one that have been the elections that have been holding, that they have been conducting, this kind of a thing has been happening. Well, I like the way she replied that she already knows that they are not the one that conducted it, but the previous ones that you conducted, the same thing happened. And someone is asking, are you sure the voters' cards were not issued by PDP? Okay, they were not issued by PDP, but you have heard that the INEC said they were not the one that conducted it, is the state. So who is in charge of APC of that state, Kano State? Is APC. Whether it is APC or whether, okay, let us even, of course, some people will come for this particular person making this statement that, are you sure it is not PDP? Because of course the person understands quite well that is APC state. So if a state had conducted the election, that means the APC is in charge of the state. That means automatically they are the one to be held responsible. But let's assume that just like what happened in the US, because they call the other man Sleeping Joe, but those who are always at alert all the time, Sleeping Joe now defrauded them and made way and stole their mandates and their votes, which caused a lot of problems. So let's even assume that the same thing happened in what is it called, in Kano State. PDP now did that. Then it is an opportunity for them to just, to get them. Let them get to the root of the whosoever. We don't even care whether it is a APP or NMPP or whatever. But anybody who is involved in this wicked acts or corrupt practices should be held responsible, whether it is PDP or APC. That is not what we are talking about. But as far as we know, APC is in charge of Kano State. And someone is asking, PDP in Kano that is being controlled by APC. Oh my goodness. In issues like this, all the voices from northern Nigeria go mute. You will never hear any condemnation from them. Terrible mentality from a group of people fit for the Stone Age always drag Nigeria backward. Hashtag end Nigeria now. Also, that now brings us to how Buhari gets his own votes. When things begin to happen, or when you don't even pay attention to most things, you might not even know. It was even during the last year lockdown, that we began to know that, oh, these were the people that voted for this man. No wonder. They will tell you he has usually have 10 billion votes, 1 billion, all the whole world voted for him. So these are the calibers of people that usually vote for this man. Really? No wonder. So when they always talk about they have votes, these are the people. And no wonder they are still telling us that all this underage marriage gay, that even it's supposed to be a crime. It's a crime. Children that cannot even decide for themselves, you push them into marriage. Now they have the audacity to want to make it law, telling Inec, the same Inec that is trying to feign ignorance, that they should make it a law that in as much you are married, whether you are 3-year-old, you are 2-year-old, so far you are married as a lady, you have the audacity, or you have the authority, or you have the whatever to be able to vote. But we hope a lot of people have been condemning that, but the ripe age, the constitutional age that that anybody who is supposed to vote constitutionally is supposed to be from the age of 18, and they will stand by that. But for people who do not have shame to come and be telling us underage marriage, to include them in voting. So these are the things that we are talking about. It's unfortunate, really, really unfortunate. Like somebody said, all those people, they don't even condemn things. And that is why they will be telling you that the other people they don't respect their elders. Why must you respect somebody who is not doing things rightly? Well, some of the elites in the north are had a failed education, no matter the level of their education attainment. Otherwise, why should the underage children be allowed to vote in a critical election that would oversee local government areas? And that is not the issue. Why should Nigerians, thank God for this lady that is bringing it up. Why should we be even allowing that? Then why should we be talking about a credible and fair election when underage are voting? Do you understand that kind of a thing? We know all those other corrupt practices that do go into the election or that happen during the election. But this one that people see is an evidence. They will not say anything. I can't really get it. Well, allow them to continue the stupidity. Now who they suffer the consequences of insecurity and banditry? No be the same not. Okay. Who issued them with voters card? Is it not Inec? Help me ask these INEC people that Buhari pack and filled these governments. It's not about APC. Please, even before APC, the response of respondent is from INEC and is shameful. Okay, the response from INEC is shameful and disappointing. Whichever is all of them. That is how they conduct every election in the north, including censors, barbaric and animalistic religious people. Arrest them, lock them up in juvenile detention. Who is going to do that? Is it not the same people? please don't abuse them. Just educate them. They need to be educated. They know it is an intentional thing. They do it intentionally. It is not as if they are not aware, and that is what they use in cheating other people. And you will see the same. Like I've always said, that these northerners, they don't work in isolation. They can't. It is not possible. They are always using the people from the south. The people from the south, some of them are the ones encouraging them, helping them as well. So they can't work in isolation. So the problem is all round. The problem is all round. Just like I said, we have a lot of corruption happens during election, not even only underage voting. So all of them, they know, rub my back, I rub your back. That is how they roll. So guys, let us hear your opinion concerning this.